I am interested in taking things that everybody sees, whether it's a thrift store, whether it's your friend on a couch, whether it's, a cat and a dead pigeon, and then finding different ways of inventing through there. I am definitely a painter of everyday life. I find that if I have a set of rules, then the invention and the storytelling makes a lot more sense and is also more believable to the viewer, or for me is a really good starting off point to tell little stories along the way. I visited this thrift store called Remembering Yesteryears in Staten Island, and it is full of a million little stories. I think of the painting as really a group portrait. I used to think of these stuff paintings as a kind of we are what we keep kind of modality. In the past year, after experiencing some grief, I've also realized that in objects, it's really we are what we leave behind too. When I was walking through Remembering Yesteryear, I was like, oh, this is a whole person's life, this basket of old dolls, or like this kind of assemblage of Time magazines, for example. So I took these real kind of lives or past lives, and then I inserted my little moments of editorializing along the way. I have my own kind of hoarding of objects that I do. I have probably 100 old Life magazines, so I put some of my magazines along. So I insert my own kind of story or my own kind of like editorializing. I am definitely a portrait painter in every sense of the word. I think anything I paint is a portrait. My gay bar paintings are definitely group portraits or portraits of a space that holds people, whether it's ghosts or living beings. There's the three people who are physically there, and those are portraits, but we also have portraits of, Bon Jovi and Cyndi Lauper and David Bowie. Also on that, we have the portrait of the space as an idea. I found that as an adult, that is a great way to make friends, is to walk into somewhere and say, can I paint your bar? Can you tell me about your space? Can you tell me about how this place came to be? To turn it into that historical kind of time capsule, but also get to know and broaden your community. Painter's Chair is an homage to a hero. I was very lucky that growing up I went to the small art school in my town called Acorn Gallery School of Art, where when I was 6 I was taught that Lucian Freud is God, and I was like, yes, I agree. I knew who Lucian Freud was before I know who Picasso or like Monet or any of those guys were. His rules were just like, you sit in front of me, I paint you, however long this is gonna take. I go and have my lunch, I go smoke my cigarette, but like this is the rule. There's not a lot more than that. And I really find that very inspiring and very, not stuffy, very just, we live in the here and now of paint, which I love. Freud was extremely good at looking at a face as this object to be inspected. But I don't really view painting like that as much. Like I said before, a lot of invention is really important to me. I am not interested in painting every single mole exactly where it's supposed to be on the body. I'm interested in if I slightly move this mole over to the left, maybe it hits the light in a way that tells the story that I want to tell better. In the painting of Kelly was wearing a hat that was not orange, and I did not like the color that it was before, so I changed it to orange because I thought it would fit better in the world that I was trying to depict. And I was very lucky that I was able to visit Lucian Freud's studio earlier this year in London. When I stepped into Lucian Freud's studio, I felt like I was visiting something that had been, told to me, that I had read about, for the last 32 years. But to smell the paint, you're like, oh, he does the exact same thing I do, but he holds so much knowledge, so many secrets, and it was just the most inspiring thing in the entire world. I just started crying. And there is no way that you can recreate another artist's work, and that's never what I wanted to do. This was a thank you to someone who has taught me my whole life. My mother died of an aggressive pancreatic cancer last October, and it's been a hard year in trying to figure out, as you grieve your mother, the world continues. You still want to make paintings, you still have to pay your bills, you still have to feed the cats. And that is what my painting Altar and my painting Talking to Mom is a lot about. It's learning to continue when the whole world hasn't gotten the memo that you would like to stop, right? It's about having bills, still come to you when you look at, photos of your mother on your desk as you're writing your emails. It's about, parking tickets on your red Honda Civic outside as you just really want everything to stop. It's about trying to figure out on your work break, as you just can't do it anymore, how you still connect to her and you walk up and down Troutman talking out loud to her, and people give you weird looks, but you're like, this is my new normal, that's okay. One thing my mother said to me when she was sick is she said, just keep painting. And that is something that I think about every day.